Hello, my name is Mark Boyer, and this is a video about a new pamphlet that I'm coming out with that outlines what I'm up to, and it's a promo video. Go check out my website. You'll see this new pamphlet being promoted there, and check it out. It's actually similar to my jailhouse notes that I wrote when I left Tacoma Detention Center 3 years ago, and it's actually the circumstances I'm presently finding myself are very similar to what I did back then, which was take off. I departed, okay, and went to the States, and it got me in this shit, and I came back, wrote this book. And I'm having to file all these new legal papers because the Crown in Alberta and the Crown in BC and the federal Crown here simply don't want to continue or do anything. So I have to push some buttons. I might end up in jail in the next couple of days, but that's the way a good activist should end up in jail every now and then. Okay. And the reality is I have to file my charter challenge again. Okay. Now, what I've done is a brand new pamphlet, and I've made some, all these great arguments that I made last time I filed my charter challenge are really good, okay? And they're exactly the same situation that I am now, well, slightly different, but I've got 3 years under my belt of having perfected and done a better argument, okay? So I highly encourage you people to go read my website, okay? I'll outline what's there, okay? There's a new, all of these have been redone to the point where they're like new, okay? And one is called What is Tyranny, okay? Now, What is Tyranny gives a historical account of how tyranny rules in Canada and how we're ruled by Masonic. Ever since we've been formed, Johnny MacDonald was a Freemason of the Scottish Rite. The next one, Sir Wilfrid Laurier, was a Freemason under Sir Cecil Rhodes, scholar, hand-picked by Cecil Rhodes. And Canada has had nothing but Masonic intent in its beliefs. And there's one article, and it's 5 pages long, called What is Tyranny? Now the next one is what is the rule of law? Okay. Now this one here, I go and take actual definitions that are established in law, okay, printed in hard copy, and in it I found a discovery of that it actually quotes Irish Home Rule as the rule of law of Canada since 1989. Okay, and that's really sick. Okay, that's saying that okay, under Irish Home Rule. Go ask the Irish of 100 years ago what they thought of what the English did to them under what's called the Dicey Doctrine, and it's being repeated. Okay, Canada is officially being ruled under a new world order, and it's using Irish Home Rule as its tool of enforcement because it's actually constitutional. Okay, and I have a 7-page report written on that. Okay, the next one is a 4-page report on the notwithstanding clause. Okay, and it's a 4-page article on the fact that when they put the notwithstanding clause in 1982, it was Section 33, and it's Section 3 of Section 33 which actually took away all our rights. And every day today, in every standard today, we would call that a Masonic Illuminati indicator. And the actual fact is that's the clause that stole all our rights and made us into this fascist state that we are now, because it allowed for the supremacy of what's called the uncodified constitution of Dicey, a guy called Albert Dicey, who imposed Irish Home Rule in Ireland against this. And that's exactly what they're doing with us now. Now the reality is as I point out in this article, is if by the people for the economy is such a good idea, why does it need Irish home rule rules of engagement for the police and authority to be protected from us? Okay, it's really sinister. Okay, in the last article there that I'll bring up on this video, in the series of a 32-page book that is an 11-page document on the smoking gun to the downfall of democracy. Now, this is a very nice, it's an 11-page feature, and it's a good conclusion to the fact that all of this was done through the perversion of words, which is a direct violation of the oath of office and the oath to the bar specifically, okay? Now, what they did is what Hitler did back in World War II. When he got to power, he changed the definition of half a dozen to a dozen words, and the intent of all laws changed. And this is exactly what happened in Canada in 1989. And at that time, Quebec separated from Canada, saying we will have none of this, okay? And basically what they didn't want to have any part of was the fact that Dicey's doctrine of Irish Home Rule is now the official policy of Canada in its courts and in its politics at every level. And that is really bad, okay? Go ask the Irish. It's fundamentally evil, and my next video will be on the solutions that I'm promoting, and one of them is that I've got to go to Quebec. You know, if these people, if these asshole politicians and these asshole courts here won't deal with it, I'll go to Quebec. Because the rule of law of Canada is almost the same as it was back then, back 100 years ago. And the reality is that in Canada right now, we are all given equal treatment under the law, under the Dicey doctrine. And the reality is constitutionally, we should be having equal protection under the law. And the difference between treatment and protection is a difference between tyranny and living in a free and democratic society. And thank you very much. Go check out my printed material on my website. It's well worth the read, and if you want, order my pamphlet. They're $5, okay? $5 for a 32-page pamphlet, bounded, and $5 shipping and handling. But if you put 5, you know, what can I say? Buy my pamphlet. It's there for the grabbing. A lot of people can't read what's on a video, and on a video screen, and they need the printed material. Worst comes to worst, just hit print on your computer, and you'll have a hard copy. And thank you very much.